showed you Cognos Inside, he showed you TM1 Web, and TM1 scorecarding. For each of these, it just says, well, this is the kind of user that you need to be able to get access to that. So all of you guys have got access to performance management users already because you're writing information in, which means this added new functionality that IBM's released in Cognos Express, you've automatically got access into that. So nothing that Alan showed you today you actually have to go and buy. You've got the capability in that software already. You just need to enable it and start using it. And all of your users that you've got today has got access to that capability already. So it's kind of like you want to start using it because you're paying for it anyway. It's in the software. It's part of your maintenance that you buy. So we really want to spend some time with you guys and making sure that you understand it and deploy it in your environments. Okay, but you'll get this with because it'll kind of answer your questions in terms of what you can and you can't do. And you can see here when Jill shows you BI a little bit later on, that's the Cognos workspace, which is on the version 10, where you've got access into the BI portal. Okay. Questions before we release you guys for lunch? We're 5 minutes over, so if you guys have got any questions before we say we can break lunch. No? Happy? Everybody? Cool. Okay, so I know the SPSS guys are still busy, but if you guys are happy, you don't have any questions for either myself or Alan, then we can break for a light lunch before we go into the next session. Yes.
Cool. Thanks, Roy.
Okay, so sorry, thanks. Alan just reminded me of something which I forgot to mention. So not a lot of you guys has a non-production environment today in your licensing environment. So there's one or two things. Because Cognos Express now allows you to have multiple instances. So remember when Alan went did the demo, he did the drop down and he showed you the different server instances that you can have. So not the physical box, but the TM1 server instance that you can have. Cognos Express now allows you to have those multiple instances. So in some cases, you use that multiple instance to say, I'm going to have a non-production instance and I'm going to have a production instance, but I'm running it on the same physical hardware. But now I separate my production and non-production, or development and production. So whilst you can do that, and the licensing allows you to do that, there is considerations that you need to think about when you do that. So for example, if your hardware goes down, then both production and non-production will go down. If you write a process that forces you to restart your physical machine, then you will also kick your people out of your production environment. So the benefit is because we have PVUs now, we can have multiple server instances, so you don't necessarily need to buy a non-production license. But from an IT point of view, there's still a consideration to say, well, if I don't buy non-production, I can't install it onto VMs, I can't go and separate it onto two different boxes, but I do need to consider the impact of running it on the same hardware environment, and the one forces the other one to go down. Okay. So I know in the past a lot of people said, well, we don't really need budgeting in non-production, we're not going to go and start doing a lot of these things. When you start doing things like workflow, like doing offline development, you might want to say, let's start having a training environment separate from production environment for the guys, and potentially look at that second server environment. Okay. Cool. So now I promise you guys can go and have lunch. If you're busy anymore.